I am honored to make a welcoming note on behalf of our minister and myself. This Gender and Resilience Share Fair event is very important in sharing good practices in mainstreaming gender in cross-border resilience interventions. The gender mainstreaming and resilience intervention is a part and parcel of the national, international, and regional commitment. The Ethiopian government is committed in addressing the gender issue throughout all sectors, programs, and initiatives. In this program, besides the fair share event, the challenge, opportunities, and priority actions that have been identified with the participants in the last 3 days will be a topic of discussion. And also specific pilot program will also a discussion point. The realization of SDG and the target set requires a strengthened coordination and effectively and efficiently implemented the design, policy, program, and strategy. We urge as our ministry to conduct similar experience among member states in how to address the gender mainstreaming in the program, especially the gender resilience initiatives. I wish a good stay here in Bishoftu, the place where many volcanic crater lakes are. I hope you will enjoy by its luxurious resort and with the hospitality of the people living here. So I thank you all.
I feel happy and very privileged to be here and participate in this event. Coming from IGAD, where interstate cooperation and regional integration is practically our religion, and where I have had the opportunity to serve in the development, promotion and implementation of IDDRSI, the program now that you should know now about, one of our region's most compelling flagship programs. I feel particularly pleased by the realization of this event. The fact that has taken place, you may be aware that there are many postponements and so on because of the circumstances, but finally we are here and we thank God for that. This is an event that brings together gender, resilience and cross-border interactions, building resilience and cross-border development issues into sharp focus for learning and reflection, with great dividends of cooperation and benefits of community engagement playing vividly before us. The opportunity for different and yet closely connected communities in the cross-border areas that they share, who share the space in cross-border areas in joint learning and reflection, reminds me of a story concerning religious leaders at a gathering, a conference like this one. There was a rabbi, there was a sheikh, and there was a bishop. And after the deliberations of the day, the three religious leaders shared a moment of discussion, and the topic was how do they use the resources, the funds that they collect from their congregations. Well, they had different ways, whether for God or for themselves. The bishop said that he draws a circle on the floor, and the money he has collected that day, he throws it up in the air, and whatever lands in the circle is for God. Then the sheikh said, well, he does something similar. He draws a line on the floor and throws money up in the air. Whatever lands on this side is God's work, for God's work. Anything on that side is his own pocket. And the rabbi said, well, I do something similar, but me, I throw the money up in the air, and I say, God, take what's yours, and anything that falls down, I assume God doesn't want it and it's mine. So the moral of the story really is that you are sharing different ways of doing things and in an atmosphere of full of fun and learning, and that's really why we're here. So really I'm very happy because in the past 3 days we've been looking at the issue of gender in building resilience, noting that especially women need to be at the forefront of this initiative, and we even recruited activists and really dynamic animators who are going to help us push this agenda. I call it killing two birds with one stone and injuring a third, because on one time, in one side, you are improving the conditions of women, and another, you are improving the implementation of the program and getting full participation by all concerned, which is really the principle of IDDRSI. So really, these 2 days, these next 2 days or 3 days, Dr. Regassa said, are really going to be an important time in our lives, learning, especially those of us who have been pushing resilience, building resilience, getting to compare stories and experiences from different areas, using different methods and so on. So really, it's a moment that I've been looking forward to, and I'm happy it's happening, and I'm glad it is happening here in Bishoftu, because there is so much that we have to learn from here, and we are very grateful that Ethiopia hosted this event, and we are all looking forward to this event. On behalf of my bosses and colleagues at IGAD Secretariat and institutions of IGAD elsewhere, in Djibouti and elsewhere, I'd like to welcome you all and to thank you all for all the effort of coming. I know the times have been difficult, and of course for putting together some of the stories that we are going to share, and I look forward to enjoying and learning. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Representing Ministry of Agriculture and Government of Ethiopia, it gives me great honor and pleasure to welcome you all to Bishoftu, Ethiopia, to take part in IDDRSI, in the IGAD Gender and Resilience Share Fair Good Practice in Mainstreaming Gender in Cross-Border Resilience Interventions in Karamoja and Mandera Clusters. We are also grateful to IGAD for choosing Ethiopia to host this very important session, our regional meeting. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is known that communities living in Karamoja and Mandera, like all other clusters, share social, political, and economic ties with strong cross-border interactions. As you all know, the region faces diverse challenges that increase communities and households' vulnerability to different shocks and stress, of which recurrent droughts, floods, and other climate-related disasters resulted in chronic food insecurity, conflicts, and unwanted human loss. As a result of these shocks, women in particular are the most vulnerable and affected part of the household due to their responsibility to take care of their entire family, including their livestock. The cross-border areas have continued to exist under these intense problems of maternal and child healthcare conditions in comparison to the national average of their respective countries. The persistent shock and the stress have also eroded the livestock base of many householders of this area. Women are affected, are active and dominant participants in these activities and are able to contribute more to the household income. Furthermore, women also have immense role in peace building and conflict resolutions. Therefore, the gender roles have been evolving without requisites of social norms, change interventions to aim smooth transition. The participants, ladies and gentlemen, a gender analysis of IDDRSI reveals that gender-based roles, identifies and attributes depend on the vulnerability of women and girls to drought shocks. The analysis further identified huge capacity gap in understanding and appreciation of gender inequalities in IDDRSI, and by extension, the know-how of interventions to address them. This finding pointed to the crucial need for undertaking strategic, targeted, and experimental capacity development interventions, including knowledge generation and sharing for improved practice on gender mainstreaming in IDDRSI at regional and national levels. Share Fair provide an opportunity for different actors to come together and share knowledge, experience, and best practice on a given topic. This can create and strengthen a common knowledge base and understanding and help us to identify successful methods and approaches to the issue at hand. This Share Fair builds on previous Share Fair and their successes. The IGAD Knowledge Share Fair on strengthening cross-border cooperations in IGAD Cluster, organized in August 2018, the IGAD Resilience Share Fair in September 2019, and the 2022 Horn of Africa and Sahel Knowledge Share Fair on promoting innovation to build resilience against climate shock, all helped to identify and disseminate important lessons on topics of resilience and cross-border areas. These past share fairs form the foundation for the proposed event. The 2021 Gender and Resilience Share Fair draws on the recent decision by the African Union heads of states and governments 33rd Ordinary Session to declare and adopt the period 2020-2030, the African Decades for Financial and Economic Inclusion of Women. This theme is critically important for women in arid and semi-arid lands because they suffer double exclusions. First, as a result of gender-based discrimination in societies they lived in. Second, due to the gender-intensified vulnerability to climate-related shocks. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, the proposed events focus on the role of gender mainstreaming for successful implementation of gender-responsive resilience-enhancing investments and policies in IGAD cross-border areas with a specific emphasis on Karamoja and Mandera Clusters. In this regard, the Share Fair seeks to build capacity of policymakers and practitioners on effective gender mainstreaming in resilience-enhancing interactions. Share Fair success and good practice on gender mainstreaming in resilience-enhancing intervention for uptake and replications facilitates establishment of collaboration and networking among the stakeholders implementing cross-border resilience interventions in IGAD regions. As we, dear participants and ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, Ethiopia is working collaboratively with neighboring countries in many aspects covering political, economical, social and other issues. We also share many common values with neighboring countries and good brothers and sisters. And in line with the objective of this meeting, I would like to confirm that the government of Ethiopia has given due emphasis and is committed to the gender mainstreaming across all sectors to ensure women and men are equally treated and benefited from the existing and upcoming development endeavors. I would like to express that the government of Ethiopia is also appreciating and supporting IGAD Secretariat to proceed with such events in a continuous manner as it helps in reducing duplication of efforts and resources and notably to enhance ongoing gender mainstreaming resilience initiatives in the country and beyond in the region. From this very important regional meeting, we expect that the outputs of the discussion will be documented and good practice for gender responsive interactions to increase women empowerment and resilience. In the medium to the long term, the stakeholders in the cluster will incorporate the lessons into their interventions. Monitoring of their actions will be done by the IGAD in collaboration with the gender programs of IGAD. Finally, I thank you all for your time and wish you successful deliberation, and finally declare the meeting is officially open, and I thank you.